Alright, folks. Light. Okay. I have the Mercury 9 herself done. You saw that in the last video. Stand isn't done that she sits on that comes with the model. That's just a little bit of photo etch, and I'll do that tomorrow in about 10 minutes. I'll record the whole thing so everyone can see what I do with photo etch. I haven't done a lot with photo etch, so it'll be a learning experience for me and you. That's neither here nor there. Getting back to this, the reason we brought it up is cutting these windows out and getting them square and the same size on the front of this isn't very easy. Okay? These are fairly even here. They're fairly squared, but one or two of them smaller than the others. I have to fix that. The top windows are fine on this piece. Okay? It was this one that was giving me the trouble. Because the windows there just weren't any good. I couldn't get them squared all the same size. So I cheated. I took a piece of square brass tubing, cut it, filed it, sanded it, stuck it in the windows. Now I'm going to hit them with some Bondo putty as soon as the super glue dries. Get them all squared up and evened away. Okay? And once that's done, they're going to look good because they're going to be all evened up. I might leave the brass effect there because it makes them look like windows. I just need to get the plastic cleaned up around it the way I want. Alright? Also trying to decide if I should scratch build an interior for this guy. I'm thinking I'm going to be honest with you. I really think I'm going to. I know I am going to scratch build an interior for this one. No doubt of that. It's 1/350 scale. The interior is going to be tiny. I can't make a chair at 1/350 scale. I just can't. Okay? These punched out disc from the sheet styrene is, yeah, it's about the size of a table. A round table. So, that would seat two. So, yeah, maybe I can use those. Thoughts are occurring. Gears are turning. This could be interesting. Okay? And I know in an earlier video I talked about duplicating 2 or 3 of these. Nah. I need to scratch build a couple of warehouses. Because these aren't really warehouses. I don't know what this thing is. I may or may not use it. Because it won't fit in right. Ooh, good shot of the Bondo there. So, there we go. Just wanted to show you. I got those glued in now. We're just waiting for the super glue to cure. And then I'm going to hit it with, saw something I didn't like, a little bit out of alignment. Super glue hasn't quite cured on it enough yet either. I can fix it. Then I'm going to hit it with some Bondo glazing putty. This stuff. Yeah, no Aves. Is anyone shocked yet? I haven't used Aves once. You'll see it in the diorama. I'll use Aves to glue the buildings down with. But I've been using this stuff. I like this for filling seams. Works really, really well. And here's the piece of square tubing. Sorry for the yawn. Here's the piece of square tubing I used for the windows. For the windows on the other building, I actually have a smaller piece of square tubing. Right here. But I may not use it. The reason being is once I cut that, I have to clean the interior of that out. And I don't have a file that will fit in there, I don't think. I'm going to check real quick. If I have a file that fits, I might go ahead and cut this and do the same treatment on here. Because they're close to the same size. Well, that file fits. But it's so small, it's almost worthless. But I do have a file that fits in there. So I'll debate it. It's what they were bought for. They were bought to be window frames for these. Well, anyhow, before I start waffling, I'm going to go. Need to get to bed, get some sleep. I got a big day tomorrow. That I do. Mercury 9 gets its primer coat. The base, the stand that holds Mercury 9 will get its photo etch. Interior will be built for this by the end of tomorrow. Won't be glued in though, because I gotta paint that. I gotta figure out how I'm doing that. Because masking the windows could work. I already know what I'm using for the windows, the windows themselves, so there's no issues there. But painting will be interesting because I don't want to hand paint it. I want to airbrush it. I gotta get some cement textures. I'm making this thing made out of cement. It's a cement bunker. You got this huge, massively large rocket taking off, you know, within 100 yards of this thing. That better be a bunker. If that rocket blows, there's going to be no one for miles alive. So this needs to be a bunker. We'll see. Could be just 1950s sci-fi craziness where they don't pay any attention to it. Anyhow, I'm waffling, rambling. Talk to you later. Alright everyone, working on Mr. Mercury 9. Let me move the camera where we can see the work. There's the work surface. Okay. Now, this is painted silver because I wanted to check my work on those windows. You know, I put the brass inserts in there, and I think the silver paint's distracting from it. So I'm going to remove the silver paint and put a different color on there and just check to see how it is. Like a flat black would work in this instance a little bit better. I got to paint a flat black anyhow, so that's not really an issue. But I'm pretty sure those windows are done and I can move on to something else. The other part of the command center, those windows came out perfect. And there's no brass inserts in there. I could put a brass insert in there. I'm going to explain what I did. Okay? Because I really like how those came out. I plan on building an Enterprise sometime in the next year or two, or the Reliant. Yeah, I have the new Reliant kit and I want to build it. I have all the decals and stuff for it. The photo etch. TrekWorks has been inspiring me on that one. So I think I should build a Reliant kit. Here's what I did. Okay? Steps. To me, a handy drill. You know, I got this idea for using this from Model Man Tom. He did a review of this thing. I went, ooh, that looks cool. Went and bought one and found out the collet in it doesn't let you use but one size drill bits. And then you go and start checking around. You find out that Dremel collets will fit in there. So now I can use whatever size drill bit I want, and I commonly do. This is how I drill holes in plastic. Okay? And I can show you why. Here's a piece of plastic card. It's the perfect speed for drilling a hole in plastic. It doesn't melt it, it doesn't burn it, it doesn't leave any weird marks on the plastic. It's perfect for it. And I'll do it in a future video, but I'll show you all the different collets I have. Because this size drill bit in my hand right here would not normally fit in this drill. And it's sitting on my desk because I used it in this drill. I can do it right now while we're talking. Because here's my little drill bit collection. There is a pin vise in here. And here's just some of the collets I use in the handy drill. And these were made for a Dremel. Okay? And if you look at the end of them, I get different sizes. The collet that's in there right now is the one that came for the handy drill. But if you look at these three right here, you can see that I can get different size drill bits in there, and they fit in the handy drill just perfectly. Okay? Got them off Amazon.com. But anyhow, first I took Mr. Handy Drill, and this is the drill bit I used, and I drilled out the windows. Okay? Just like I drilled that hole right there. Then I took a square file, and I slowly pushed it in, pulled it out, pushed it in, pulled it out, pushed it in, pulled it out. And I spent about a half hour going mad with that on each window. Because you got to square them somehow. And you can tell I'm not being nice with it. But if you look, you'll also be able to see that that hole is turning square. Yeah, it's turning square. And that's what I needed it to do, turn square. Okay? So I used a drill bit about the size I wanted and then turned it square. And I just kept doing this until my piece of square brass tubing would fit. It was just a little bit undersized, and I pushed this thing through like I'm trying to do in the styrene right now. Okay? And it's not going to go through the styrene. I also have a hot knife, and I thought about mounting this in the hot knife, and just I've not had a lot of success with a hot knife, and I would have to practice a lot on styrene card before I tried on the model. But you will see, I used that file until I could get this piece of brass to slide right through there. Okay? And this piece of brass is what actually squared it. And I'm thinking it might be quicker if I use a slightly bigger drill bit. Like, I've got some hole punches here. Oh, they're too big. Let's see if I got one of these. Yeah, too big. Anyhow, my little brass square shapes over there aren't quite big enough. But I'm almost willing to bet if I had a pretty close to the right size hole, I could push this through and square up the corners with it. I would rather start with the file until it's close up. But anyhow, that's how I got these done. I get to go start scratch building an interior now, especially for this up here, because these windows are big. If I got a command deck here with some screens on the back, you'll be able to see it. Okay? Thinking about scratch building an interior in here, because the parts that came with that one kit just won't look through those good through those windows. I'll let Nellie take a look and see what she thinks. But I'm definitely going to scratch build a command deck on here. You know, like you always see in the 50s sci-fi movies with the big screens in the back. Yeah, that's happening. Anyhow, I'm going to get off here. I'm going to go get some stuff done. And you'll see the next update soon. Working on Mercury 9 again. We're working on building a command deck for this part. I got the flooring cut out. Slides in there. It's a little loose, but I'll fix that. And I'm not worried about that at all. Okay? I don't know if I talked about this or not. This is the decal set from TSDS. Bought it primarily because I saw these cutouts. And I thought these cutouts right here would be really, really neat. And, you know, backlighting the command center with this cutout is going to be good. This is going to be fine. I'm going to use that. But I want to tell you guys, I'm not griping about the quality. Yes, I am going to gripe about the quality of this. First off, this model is 1/350 scale, correct? And when I look at that doorway, and I think I griped about this in an earlier video, 1/350 person wouldn't even be able to reach the enter bar. It's ridiculous. Let's just start this video over so I can explain it better. Okay, I'm going to give you guys an example of what I was talking about. Here we have the prairie area. I mean, all we got are grasses and prairie type plants. Okay? And it feels like a prairie. I mean, it feels like a big open area. I turn my head. I walk through some arching trees, and we are in a Japanese garden. Complete with tree rat. I mean, you just blink your eyes and you're somewhere else. Really fun. They've done a good job of using trees to shade off the different areas. So this feels like a completely intact little garden. Earlier there were some Canadian geese here. I don't know where they went. We're right there. You're probably over here swimming in the water. Nah, found the Canadian geese. They're right on the other side of this tree. Headed for the lake. Taking the family for a swim. Walking through here with Nellie, she said she wants me to take our backyard and turn it into this, don't you? Mm-hmm. Of course, it's got to have lots of roses and other things too.
Oh, yeah.
She wants her backyard to look like this, complete with little bridges, running river.
With goldfish?
With goldfish.
Clean water though.
Yeah, well, clean water is going to be hard to keep. But there are goldfish in this river. Like, I got him on video. Not holding the camera very steady, but I got him.